of the Open.
Hi, this is Mindy Stearns. I'm JD
I'm
Cargill.
JD. Why'd you point to him?
And this is Michelle Arago, and you're listening to Friends Some and Then Some.
Very wildly great. Wait, how long have we been doing this now?
Maybe should we record this?
Okay,
Maybe we should record this and just like play a recorded version at the top. Welcome, everybody. We're three friends from our news days 20 years ago in Los Angeles, and now we decided to start a podcast all about friendship, looking at it through the lens of midlife.
Some very thick lenses, y'all, because you're blind as a bat.
Because we all need glasses. We're in that phase. Yeah. You're right there, Michelle. You are right there behind me. So don't be all young.
No, I did have to get glasses.
I'm younger than you
year.
on me. Yeah.
Exactly.
So anyway, here we are. We're just, we're wildly honest with each other, brutally honest sometimes, but we love each other, and we hope you join us and get a little laugh, a little fun, feel some connection to your own friendships,
right?
And walk away with a lighter heart and a lot of fun.
Exactly.
Just join us for a lot of fun.
You're welcome, friends.
All right,
welcome.
what are we? Friends
Some and Then Some.
Yeah. Okay, can't forget the rooster. Oh my God! If you're watching this video, see what a train wreck this was.
Mm-hmm.
Who's on third?
That was with practice. Okay. So, Michelle, why don't we catch up? I feel like I haven't seen you guys in forever. We're 6 feet apart. We're socially distanced. We are recording our podcast. In case you don't know, maybe your day's going that way. You're listening to a podcast. And you're listening to JD Cargill, Michelle Arago, and Mindy Stearns on Friends Some and Then Some.
That's
Thank y'all
right.
for joining us. We're so excited. And what's wonderful is that we feel like it's the first time every time.
It does.
Yes.
It is like the
that's why
first time
we've
with you
had
every time.
This friendship for so long.
I know it is. I get excited.
I
actually get
nervous.
excited when my phone has your name on it.
Yeah,
I'm
me
like,
too.
oh, it's my friend.
It evokes emotion for all of us.
I'm smiling ear to ear, just seeing your faces. These beautiful, beautiful faces. Oh.
Well, we've been doing this for how many weeks now? I don't even know. It's like an endless number at this point.
I don't even know. January, February?
Yeah.
No, March.
February.
March.
No, we started February.
We launched.
Our show started. I thought you meant quarantine.
Oh,
Sorry.
Our friendship started 20-some years ago.
But we have started at a very interesting time. I mean, our first show launched for Kobe's celebration of life, which we were very, we had planned it for months, but then all of a sudden that happened and we dove in and we thought, oh gosh, this isn't right for us, but we're going to be there for LA in the way that we can. Mm-hmm. And then we thought that was the worst of it, and then it's kind of spiraled into March, and here we are.
Oh my gosh, I know everybody's feeling different
months
senses
later. So, but I feel good about especially our guests today.
Right.
I mean,
this is exciting because obviously it's a subject. Well, I'm not single, but I was.
For years, painfully single. That was our news days. I was her producer back then.
You also were like a runaway bride, too.
Yeah, I was engaged twice, 3 times.
The runaway bride, Julia Roberts, was actually played for Mindy's...
my life.
Her life.
That's right. The Trail of Tears.
Julia Roberts played me in a pic about my life. You didn't know, but...
I love when we have a topic like this, something that we can really sink our teeth into, because what's juicier than talking to your best friends about romance?
Right. And Michelle's probably the one that is the most in the lane of, time to get the house ready to put it on the market.
Right.
And that's the subject
we
of
were getting sage advice from someone who is just crushing it in the real estate game, and she parlayed all the jargon that goes with real estate to relationships.
Sense. Exactly.
It's like a perfect marriage.
I have to have a little bit of credit for that, not for the book, but just the fact that she and I did so much in my personal life in creating some of these things about creating your list. I mean, she helped me write the list of the perfect guy, what I wanted. And she actually gave that to me.
Then I turned out to be gay, so she had to settle.
And when you married yourself, which is ultimately when you found your partner.
Then I found my partner, and then I was ready to
Maybe
attract
I need to marry
partner.
myself.
We need to have a wedding for you.
Yeah.
Well,
I need to be officially inked divorced before I can marry myself, though.
Well, I do want to focus on you, Michelle.
For myself.
Well, don't save it all for you because you have a lot to give and it deserves to be spread around. That didn't sound right.
Yeah.
I mean, with the right guy, the right man, the singular one person.
Spread your legs, not the virus.
I'm excited to focus on you because you're the single one out of the three of us right now.
All right, well, let's just bring her in.
Yeah, let's
talk,
do it.
Okay, but we need to come on.
Officially intro. She deserves an intro. Look, I've known her for years. She's a friend. I feel very familiar, but also she is a very respected top New York City award-winning real estate broker with Douglas Elliman. She's very
the top of the top.
I mean, this girl, an industry powerhouse with like well over 7 billion in sales. She's got records in some of the Manhattan's most expensive properties. It's amazing.
It is impressive. She has all the clients from the Fortune 500 executives, celebrities, investors, and developers. She's smart and savvy, and now she's adding to her resume.
And sassy.
Author. She's written a book.
Ginger.
The book's not out yet, but it is available for pre-sale. It is called Back on the Market. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our friend to Friend Some and Then Some, Miss Holly Parker.
Did we do you justice, Miss Holly Parker?
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So sweet. So sweet.
Oh, Halls.
How
Halls,
are
we go
you,
so
Holly?
far
How
back.
are you?
I just love this new phase, this new chapter.
Oh, God.
Literally writing a book. Look at you.
Yeah. And Mindy's
like,
got quite a few appearances in the book, so that's fun.
Do I make a cameo in a couple
love
pages?
that.
Is that chapter called My Haunted House or let me see what else is here? Buying as is.
Glacier views, sprawling.
View her sprawling glaciers. Wait, what was that?
No,
Okay.
Oh,
getting
gosh.
bored. Mine's getting on board.
All right, welcome to the Runaway Train Show, Holly. We're sorry, but
We
you're on board
are-
now.
We are fit to. We are wired for sound.
We
today.
are.
Holly, let's
We're on
talk
it.
about okay, so you had this incredibly successful, real estate business and life and a beautiful marriage. You know, you found your soulmate and have made a beautiful family. So what was the impetus to write a book? Because there's a lot of books on dating, but tell me when you clicked and you went, okay, I'm going to put this on a book.
Well, this was actually something that I've been wanting to do for a long, long time. And I've been in real estate now for 24 years. And real estate's actually about the attraction process, right? What you got to do, the whole phase, going to someone's house, figuring out who their buyer is, figuring out, okay, let's get ready for our buyer. And do you know where you're going? All of these questions, when people don't get it, I tend to say, okay, guys, it's like this. And I always relate it to dating so that they could understand what we were talking about. Like, I get it. You have a beautiful home here. And people would be like, I don't want to fix it up because the right buyer, they're going to be able to see past all my stuff. And so we don't really have time. And I'd say, you know, you can be gorgeous, but that doesn't mean you can go on a date with wet hair and halitosis and expect to have success.
It was like a nice paint job, but bad pipes on that one.
We got to do something here. And the conversations that I have all day long and have been having for so long, especially when I went back on the market, I finally just said, I have got to share this with the world.
You got to write it down.
Oh, man, I can only imagine.
I got to write it.
I love it. I'm so excited for it though, because it's so clever.
It is.
I mean, it's
and
such
the
a
cover is
clever.
genius. It's so beautiful.
I mean, if you think about just the whole the metaphor for what you're creating here, there's so much wisdom in this. I mean, just the chapters alone, if you go in falling out of contract, making a house a home, fixing the foundation, the homelessness problem. I mean,
The homelessness problem. I keep dating homeless people. That's my problem. They don't have anywhere to live.
Well, the project, you know, you may not relate to this, JD, but women, especially in our 20s and 30s, we're all about dating potential and a project. And that's just not ever.
Like-
what is that? Red flag.
Red flag.
yeah, red flag.
Yeah.
You got to date the person in front of you, right? Because they may never change.
Exactly. Well, can I real quick, just to not take a total left turn, but you are a New York City top agent. I know you're hunkered down in Connecticut, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is happening? What is happening in New York? How do you feel about your New York and where it's going to be with real estate in relation to this virus?
Well, when you see New York on TV,
that's all we see out here in LA. So it's just devastation.
Yeah, we literally get Cuomo's like daily addresses, like they're ours. I like the guy. He's really seems to be organized and got a good message.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's heartbreaking. It brings me to tears when I see it. But then, speaking to so many clients of mine on the phone, they do not want to leave their homes. They're comfortable. They say the word quiet and serene. The city's so beautiful right now. They go out for walks. They they go for runs. So, it depends who you're talking to, but of course it breaks my heart, and we're all going to need to have a cure for this virus before we all feel really comfortable to be living so close together. But there is less pollution, less noise pollution. So
are deals happening though, or is everything frozen there?
Well, funny, I just got a deal today for $22 million. So we'll see.
That reminds me about a question I wanted to ask you, Holly.
Hello.
Personal loans. That just brought us some. So, Michelle, you're also an agent. Holly, you're an agent. This is a curious question because I've heard the craziness that you have to go through right now just to show a house in person.
My gosh.
What is it like in New York? How do you show one of these $20 million places right now?
Well, right now we're doing virtual showings,
which are
because
pretty
you can't
powerful.
Legally get people in. So luckily we have a lot of video footage for ours, and a lot of times people have shopped around before, so they've been to the apartment.
Right. Especially if you're buying a place in this market, that range.
Right. It's that guy. Like, I did like him, and now that he's 20% off, is that good enough for me? Should I close this deal? So sometimes go back into that little black book, and maybe we weren't ready for that guy.
Timing.
Right.
Timing is everything.
Yeah, and actually this, once again, the dating world relates perfectly to the real estate world because right now people can't meet in person, so they're having to do everything online.
So also that we were talking about in one of our podcasts about virtual dating, like dating apps are going crazy right now. So there's going to be a time when you're eventually going to meet this person in person,
right? And
it's time to get the house all fixed up before you go, and even if you are on a dating app, I mean, I bet you can speak to what people are putting on dating apps, because if you don't have the right lighting, the good everything, it's going to be a swipe left. You're just back into the stratosphere.
Just like photos sell a house.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Or the photo that they put up when they were 20 and now they're great.
Right?
Oh.
And they said that they were 5'10" and they're actually only 5'1".
Yeah.
That could be a problem.
Well, we've had that in real estate where people overblow these pictures. The pictures look so good and you get them, and then they go to the house and the house is a disappointment. You never want that to happen because you want them there. You want to get them in the door, but you don't want to completely oversell.
Overpromise.
Yeah.
Right.
A wide lens in real estate, a skinny lens in dating.
There you go. 100. I like that.
With a big filter.
Yeah, how about the
Oprah
filtered
lighting?
Look? Yeah. So, I mean, there's so many good chapters here on dating. I can't wait to just get into the meat of this book and really just sit down, because it's such a good book to be like. I wish it was. People can download it right now, right? Is that?
No, you can.
No, not until the end of the December. Wow. Sorry, guys.
Right. But you can buy it now.
Right. Okay. Well, let's give our listeners then some. Why don't you start giving us what are the top 3 things people need to do right now? They're in quarantine, they're in isolation, and they're eventually we're going to get out of the house, right? Eventually.
Right.
So which chapter is going to be the most important right now that we could be working on? Is this the foundation or?
So let's take it from the top. Obviously, falling out of contract, it cracks your foundation. Mm-hmm. If you really gave someone your whole heart, it cracks your foundation when that ends. And so you got to repair your heart, and that's a process. And it takes some alone time. It takes a lot of alone time. It takes you really giving self-care to yourself, which we keep hearing through this quarantine and is really, really important. I think it's, for me, where I kept going around in circles over and over and over. and I'm not going to talk about anybody else on this podcast, but maybe.
What?
Michelle. I'm a caretaker.
Say
it was so easy for me to take care of everybody else except myself. And so I filled up my plate with as many people as I could to take care of, because God forbid I should have a quiet moment by myself and fix myself. That was scarier.
That is profound.
So you see that where I kept moving friends into my apartment. Even, I had a big apartment. So do you want to come and live with me? No, I have a space. You come and live with me. We'll fix your life. Let's talk about your problems.
I was one of those friends. Holly said, "Okay, let's sit down. Let's make the list for you. What's going to be the perfect person for you? The dream list.
Right.
You were
just
good.
like you would with a home.
You were good. Yeah.
How many bedrooms does it need? How many closets? How many bathrooms?
Budget. That was something that I thought was a very powerful act. Holly was really manifesting that, whatever, the perfect home, the perfect mate. I mean, nothing is perfect, and you have to make a list that has, okay, these are negotiables. These are the ones that I can, okay, so my husband wasn't tall and dark and, Latino, but
you sacrificed a few things.
He was so many more things. Honest and trustworthy and reliable and driven.
Well, our
and
list changes over our decades,
Oh,
right?
that is
I mean, the
100%
things that were
true.
on my list of the house I wanted in my 20s ain't the house that I want in my 40s.
Yep. The sky touching penthouse bachelor pad that I thought I wanted back in the day is not
it's not what you want.
It's not the secure, safe family home that I have today.
But you sort of have to go through those sexy bachelor pads and all those things to really figure out what it is you want. So
I want to say
we
something.
have a lot of millennials and Gen Zs tuning in. We always want to
one of each.
We want to keep
hey
them.
Millennial, hey Gen Z.
Thanks
for listening.
What we really want to do is obviously stay in our midlife lane, but with a sense of mentorship. Because if I had a group of awesome things, people that were in a mentorship lane when I was in my 20s, how much better off would we be?
Right.
Like if we really could see that next road ahead and navigate and have somebody say, you know what, you're going to be okay. It's going to be all right. I thought this show, Holly, was going to be more of an intervention.
That's what I was about to say, but I didn't
well, we
want
haven't
to
let's be honest, friends.
Let's get real about falling out of contract.
Well, that last piece was for you. Of course you're going to be the caretaker. Of course you're going to be the mama. Of course you're still going to be that person.
Yeah.
But, when we made that list for Mindy, she had already spent many, many months on her own, I think, really finding who Mindy was. And by the time we made that list, she was ready to list. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's my issue. I'm not ready to list my property.
But it's been 3 years. So how long
so
does it take to be ready?
So at what point do you go, are you procrastinating? Do you ever want to, or is there fear? I mean, maybe those are...
Well, of course, there's a lot of fear because of how my divorce went down. But I think, too, when, Holly and I, the one thing that we are probably different in, yes, we both have divorces under our belt, but I'm a product of divorce with kids. And you actually now have kids in your second marriage, which thank God, So it's harder to get back on the market when you have kids, especially the ages that they were when it happened. Now we're 3 years later. I've done a lot of the work for the self-care part and finding out who I am again, because there was we get as women too seriously embedded in our identities. So I was heavily identifying myself as a wife, heavily identifying myself as a mom, and then all of a sudden one title that actually is very woven together was stripped away. And then I realized, God, I've put a lot of energy into that other person's house and not my own.
Yeah.
And so then you get to know yourself again and, I think that's why with your chapters and how you listed them out, it does ring a lot of bells for me. But yeah, I think my issues would be I'm not ready to list the property. So I think Holly's guidance today would maybe but I am doing the work.
Yes.
I am doing the work and I have been, but I'm not. I don't know if it's lack of interest too. I mean, I'm so big. There's days where I go,
It's fear.
what have I mean, it's 9:00 and now I'm just having time. Like, where
do I
would this
squeeze
person?
in? Yeah.
where would this person fit in my life? I'm a working mom. I'm a very involved mom, and I just don't have a space for it right now. But it could be fear based.
I think, but look at how scary it is. Plus, you have these two beautiful boys, and whoever comes into your life is going to have to pass a very high bar and very big test to get the opportunity and the chance just to meet these beautiful young men that you're raising. And that's scary. I would be scared if I was a mom to bring, you really have to know the person and really trust them to weave that together. And so I'm curious, Holly, what is your best advice? It sounds like Michelle's really, she has fallen out of contract 3 years ago, and she's been fixing the foundation left and right. She's in meditation classes.
Mode.
She's calligraphy queen. She knows what she is doing. But we want to get that paired up with a great guy. I mean, I really do. I've literally signed up a Tinder account for her.
Oh my gosh.
and posted her pictures, wrote the thing myself, and was swiping up a storm until she shut me down. So what is the right way to help a friend, fix her foundation so that she's ready to list?
Well, at a certain point, you do have to let go of your fear, right? Because if you bought a house and all of these things went wrong, where it cost you basically what I call the most valuable things that you have is your heart and your time, right? Nothing is more valuable than your heart and your time. And so if you are then about to invest in another property, of course you're bringing so much fear with you. So it's really about fixing your foundation, but then it's about letting go of the fear. So
how did you let go?
Whether listening to podcasts, for me, I literally had to run and just jump off a cliff because that fear wasn't going away.
When you ran and jumped, what did that look like? Running and jumping off a cliff? Because that's different for everybody.
Well, I mean,
well, not literally.
It wasn't like a Thelma and Louise moment.
She got laid.
She wouldn't be here.
She went to bar days more? What did you do?
Get
those girls.
This is a good story. Let's hear one of these stories, Holly.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I mean, I drank a whole bottle of champagne before I walked down the aisle with Mark. I was terrified.
Oh my God.
All the way, probably for the first year that we were married, I was still terrified.
I mean, it's good you ate breakfast. But...
Maybe probably even 2 years that we were married.
Really?
And you're talking about into your second marriage, just because you were like, oh, I don't want this to happen again. I don't think I could ever go through this again. What was those
you
thoughts?
Remember the pain. You remember the pain. So to give your heart away again.
Yeah.
You're just trying to protect it. And so, but to really be in love and go on to the next phase in life, you gotta let go of your fear.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a process, but you got to make time for it. And it's like saving money. You can't just go about your business and then be like, oh, look, there's money left over. You got to have a business plan. And you got to have a business plan for yourself about, okay, I really want to have these emotions out of my body. And I am going to they say in finance, when you pay yourself first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put money, save your own money first, and then invest. Go on. So if that's it, put your own mask on, save your own money first, put yourself first, put your heart first, in order to go on and make the right investment.
I hear you.
Is that what the book is really about then? It's not so much about, dating advice. It's more about taking care of number one, you. Like what is
your house?
Your house.
You want to sell your house.
I think that's what it turned into.
Mm-hmm.
If there's two things about the book, it's be your own best friend and marry yourself.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, it's a realtor's guide to
I have heard good
loss,
things.
divorce, and dating. And to circle back a little bit so we can explain to people out there what happened with JD and this Tinder
Right.
account. So last spring, we were in Jackson Hole, just a quick story.
Actually,
and
we're
we
the
were at a
photo,
Mexican.
and then some photos from that trip. Just a little
That's
fun
true.
fact. And that's where this
That's
idea was
true.
born.
Yeah.
So we were at a Mexican restaurant talking, and I said, oh my gosh, you guys, one of my friends is trying to get me, to get back on the market. And I had told her, oh, I'm going to Jackson Hole for spring break. And she goes, out of town ass. That was her quote. You gotta get out of town ass. It's the best icebreaker. Maybe that should be
Uta.
your added chapter,
like it.
Holly.
Uta.
But so that might be another
your Uta.
catchphrase. We're collecting catchphrases here, but she coached me about how to get out of town ass. So I was at the table and we were we were having margaritas, chips. The kids were all home, and I told them the story. Literally, as I'm telling the story,
Tinder was
JD's like
being
doing
created.
this with his phone, and I was like, "Oh God, what?" He goes, "Well, just so happens." And then the funny
Vivian.
story was,
What was her name?
JD.
Vivian.
Vivian.
Oh no, Mindy sparked it. She goes, "Well, how long? You and JD, George, his boyfriend, was with us too. How long was it when you canceled your Tinder account after y'all met?" And George was like, "Oh my God," within like 3 days. And JD got real quiet. It was so funny. He was like, "Oh, well, that's weird. I still have my." That's funny. I didn't know. Well, since I have it open, why don't we transfer it into Michelle's name? And I'm like, no, not my name. All right, well, if we're going to get you out of town ass, I'm like, oh my gosh, is it like GPS? I didn't know how any of it worked.
GPS.
And so we named me. I have a fake name. I went to Harvard. I mean, it was all very not with your book because it was an
Vivian.
authentic.
So not. It was like a fixer-upper with just a facade.
Oh, but the pictures were real, and they were her with a giraffe. and
Yeah.
her
I looked like
in a cowboy hat with a shotgun.
We were trying to attract like the Jackson Hole
Oh, that's
guys.
right.
Well,
so
so-
all the guys were in skis or were like
Lord.
fishing.
Outdoorsmen.
And, yeah, they were. So he's like, we got to play to the outdoorsmen.
Exactly.
I mean, it was just so crazy.
So Holly, basically what Michelle did is she put herself on the market in like a Hollywood movie set where it just has the front of the house and there's nothing
Right.
that's real behind the door.
Because all she wanted was someone to come in and out of the door for a while. I mean, let's be honest.
Well,
how honest
nothing
do you have to
came
be
of
about
it. Like you said, I was
Nothing came,
terrified.
no
The house
came.
only
No one
had one
came,
pipe.
and I didn't came. Nobody came. So we get back to LA, and about a month later, I'm sitting at work, and JD, he gets a text.
Vivian.
The next text. Next text. Well, next text. I think I need to tell you something. And then the next text, are you ready? Like he just built this whole thing up. And he goes, turns out Vivian's really popular in Los Angeles. And I was like, I'm at work. And I was like, literally, I just got chills right now because I was like, no. I thought that was over. And then, don't you want to see who I've swiped for you?
It came from a place of love. It was coming from a place of love. I catfished men all over town as Vivian, but with Michelle's pictures.
But we thought it was
in
an
a-
awesome sitcom, and I actually pitched it to one of my dear
Oh, really?
friends who's a Warner Brothers comedian executive. Because I
That's
was like,
funny.
check this pitch out. She's always like, here, Michelle goes another freaking pitch. I'm like, a gay guy
Right.
takes over his best friend's
Tinder account.
Tinder, or
Just-
makes a Tinder account for his sad, frumpy 40-something divorcee bestie.
Oh my God.
I'm the thousandaire matchmaker. So sign up, boys. Look at all Vivian. Vivian's still available, by the way, and on the market, right?
Right.
But you're not on the market. That's the thing.
No, I'm not
And that's the thing about today is I was on a serious side. It's like, it would be great if Holly's book, these chapters, they sort of like resonated with you in a way that it got you like to that place where you maybe felt comfortable.
Maybe.
Holly, what's the first thing we need to do for Michelle? What's the first thing
Well,
Michelle
I
needs to
would
do
say,
for herself?
listening to this, I would say we got to teach her the 1, 2, 3.
Okay,
Oh, let's talk
hear
about
it.
the 1, 2, 3. Let's take
Here
some
we go. We're
takeaway.
taking notes.
All
One.
right.
We might as well start with one.
1, 2, 3. When you're out how does people know? How do people know that you're even an active listing, right?
Oh,
I mean, like
active.
for
how is
sale?
someone going to come up and say hello to you or any of that,
Good
right?
point.
You could be offended. So you got to subtly let people know that you're active and that you are taking showings. Maybe even opening up the house.
What would an example of that be?
Like you mean my tits out? What do you like? Be specific.
She's like
cleavage.
like, is this a boomerang moment? I'm not wearing any panties.
Are we talking
Eartha
subtle?
What's the? Did we just?
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. The 1, 2, 3 goes like this.
Okay.
She's sitting at a table with the two of you guys. And you guys are like, oh, look at that guy. He's so cute. He's so cute at the bar. Oh, my God. It's like, that's just my type. So
no gay bars.
you don't have
Well, there you go. That's
the
been
one.
my problem.
I'm gonna 1, 2, 3 my way right out of this.
Wrong places.
Poor Holly. Thank God you knew us before you came in today, because you'd be like, this is a great interview. I've said nothing.
No, we're getting to the meat. We're getting to the meat.
Okay, I haven't been going to bars. Could we start like at Starbucks? I mean,
No one's going anywhere right now.
Right.
It's all like virtual right now. So you at least got to start a Tinder account.
Yeah, I could fake it.
For real.
Virtually.
But honestly, Holly, would you recommend that? Like, is right now during quarantine the way to let people know you're open is by being on an online dating app?
Listen, I think the more practice you can have about figuring out what you want.
Practice.
But let's get back to the 1, 2, 3.
Right,
yes.
The 1, 2, 3 is eye contact to let people know that you're available. So it goes something like this.
Look into the camera.
1 is you stare at someone until he looks at you. Okay? When you make contact, you look away.
I just saw this on TikTok. Did you see that thing on TikTok? How to flirt? Look away, look down, smile, and then look up. And icon. It's a whole TikTok thing. Holly's on it.
Holly is
started
a
trend.
full-grown woman
for TikTok.
not looking into
What
TikTok.
is a
Her
TikTok?
kids
Is it
are-
clock?
The 1, 2, 3. The 1, 2, 3 has been rocking and rolling for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So then the second one is he looks over and you're staring at him again. And now you don't want to seem so forward. So now you're embarrassed. So you go, and you kind of like act like he caught you doing something.
Okay.
Right?
So obviously you're self-conscious that you've been looking long enough
Right.
to
So he's
show
like,
embar-
oh, she was.
Okay.
I see. It's flirting.
Okay. Are we ready for the landing the 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So the 3 is you're staring at him again. He looks over and then you're just like, you're just too cute. I can't look away now. So it's just,
Slow down.
You smile.
You're
Oh,
just
seal
too
the
cute.
deal.
Seal
That
the
is good.
deal.
That is
Close
good,
the
Holly.
deal.
No wonder she
and
landed.
then if the guy is available and if there is chemistry, he will come over. I mean, I literally used to get in trouble when I was in 8th grade because I'd be with my family and guys much older than me would be coming over to the table and my parents would be saying, what is going on here? Stop me.
She was like, I was practicing my numbers. I was 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2,
I'm doing
3.
math, Mama. I'm doing math.
So eye contact, look away. I just can't. You're too cute.
Oh my God, that is so. But wait, Holly, why don't you tell
All
a story how you met Mark? Because you went in for the deal on that one.
I did. So that's the last chapter.
Oh, I love that story. No
It
place
is
like
the last
home.
chapter. So
The happy ending.
I was pretty miserable in that moment. I had gone through yet another bad breakup. And it was the holidays, and I literally saw like 5 proposals. Who sees 5 proposals? I did. And
Marriage
so I went
proposals?
to a party
Wow.
and marriage proposals.
With-
And I went to a party
No,
and I
other
really just wanted to walk in,
Happiness.
be seen, and walk out because it was a client of mine. And I promised I would go.
Mhm.
And as I'm kind of, there for 10 minutes, I'm watching Mark. He looked European to me, and he is literally making his way around the room, talking to every beautiful girl.
Hmm.
And
Damn.
I say my goodbyes, and I go over to the elevator, went right to the loft. It was this beautiful loft in Soho. I brought the elevator up. The elevator comes up, and I turn around, and I see Mark yet talking to another gorgeous woman. And he throws his head back and laughs. And I'm like, God, I hate that guy. literally screwed everybody, every girl at this party. I cannot stand
This was quite a
him.
party.
But I think I need to meet him
I
before I
must
leave.
talk to him.
So I grabbed a friend of mine. She's like, I thought you were leaving. And I dragged her next to him. And I looked up and said, hi. And he said hi back. And then he said, excuse me for a second. I have to go to the bathroom. And I had blocked off the apartment because I was having an open house the next day. So I knew there would be a line because it was a big party.
Oh.
So I decided to also use the restroom at that moment.
Nice.
And we stood together in line and we just hit it off and
line
you know,
to the bathroom.
That was a
Mhm.
that
you
was
went
like you
straight
went for the
So-
kill.
You went straight
So
for
you're
3.
Yeah, she went
we
straight to
didn't-
3.
we-
There was
she
no 1 or
jumped
2.
wanted-
Holly's a closer. Holly is a closer.
I have so many questions, but they're so inappropriate. How many people went into the bathroom? What were you in line for the bathroom for? Is this about another issue?
It
we
wasn't
can talk
at
about?
the Abbey, okay?
Yeah.
Jeez. We know what happens in those
Aw.
bathrooms.
Did you feel like part of you was like kind of like, you know, you were obviously attracted to him right away. You saw him talking to all these other women. Did it make you just a little bit jealous? Make you want him a little bit more?
he was hot. He was smoking hot, that's for sure. But to be honest, what I was doing in that moment, it felt like I was on vacation in Hawaii and I passed, you know, I went to go get a latte and I passed a sign that said open house. I had no intention of buying a place in Maui.
I love that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I was just for the fun of it. Like, oh, let's go see what's going on in this condo. I just wasn't in the mindset of it. And then there I was having fun, dating for the fun of it. Who would have thought? And, you know, and then I had a lot of fear like Michelle has and will have. So we had to work through that. And that's in the book too. But what we talk about is turning on your lights when you are your own best friend and you have married yourself and you have connected to what you're passionate in life about. You're not clinging to this person to make you happy because you're making your own self happy.
Right.
And that gives you the platform. You're turning on your own lights.
I like that. Turn on your
I
own
loved
light.
it. The
And
lighting
you know what?
is everything, right?
Lighting is everything to me.
Everything.
But I also, you know, there's something that is in my mind that I see a lot of in relationships. And Michelle, when she said, you know, I'm scared, like I don't know if it was just me, but when I would go to a new relationship, for me, it was exciting to walk in the door of a new home because I'm like, this isn't my old home.
Right.
Why would I expect it to be anything like my old home? It's a different builder. It's a different place. It's been a different neighborhood. So a lot of people think, oh my God, I can't go in that house because what if the roof falls in like the last house? And so many people stay attached to their last house that they don't see what's in front of them and they never find a new home because it's like, he cheated on me. So, oh my God, I'm not going to go with him. All men are going to cheat on me. And I think that's probably one of the more important aspects of letting go is like, this is a brand new home. Make it your own.
Right.
You know, the roof.
That's
the
a
roof
haunted
might
house.
That is
Living with ghosts.
There you go.
The
Okay, that's the
ghosts.
haunted
Oh,
house because I think
That's the haunted house.
I can't tell you how many
chapter.
people have just said that. Well, you know, and I see it even in like watching these dating shows on TV. Oh, well, I'm afraid of men. Men have cheated on me. I'm like, girl, they're not all one person. They're
Right.
all different.
Totally.
Like,
I mean,
Well, and we've all, like, I was a late bloomer in marriage. You were a late bloomer in marriage. I mean, it's not like I hadn't had relationships before.
You
I was
went to
sort
a
of
lot
a
of open
serial
houses in your
monogamous
20s.
before. Yeah, I went to a lot of, I've seen a lot of haunted houses.
a lot of
A
open houses in
open
her 20s.
houses. A lot of midnight showings, if you know what I mean. But anyway, so I have gotten back on the horse, if you want to call it, before. But I think just the marriage thing is much harder, and just the where I'm at in my life. But I have highly enjoyed this
Me
intervention.
too.
It went really
as
fast. and
offensive
all
as it could be to someone else.
It was-
We
it was
laugh
fun.
about this kind of
Oh,
stuff.
this is what the world needs is laughter.
Yeah.
I am dying. Holly, so where can we, okay, let's just break down where the book's going to be available.
In December,
Back on the market, a Realtor's Guide to Loss, Divorce, and Dating.
Pre-order it.
Pre-order it on, where can you go to pre-order it? Amazon? Or?
Amazon.
Okay, you can go to Amazon to pre-order, get your copy. What a great Christmas read.
Yeah,
so
and a
good.
perfect gift for someone maybe like in Michelle's situation or somebody who's interested in getting back on the market because what did we say earlier? Valentine's Day is just a couple of months away from December, and so this is
really
a gift
great.
So
to
we're gonna
prep
have to
someone
have you
for a
come back
Valentine.
on for part 2.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Pre
have to.
Valentine's,
When it
check
comes
in to see where I am if my lights are on.
Mhm.
And where can people follow you, Holly? And I'm not talking about into a house or into another room or an elevator or a bathroom.
Or the dog park.
Give us your Instagram and where we can plug.
So it's Holly Parker _NYC.
Holly Parker _NYC on Instagram. And
The book is called Back on the Market. It's available for pre-sale now on Amazon. Holly
and
Parker.
you can don't forget to follow us and
Yeah.
subscribe to
Yeah.
Friends Some and Then Some on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You can download the podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Stitcher. And you know what? We are really glad you joined
I
our
mean,
Friends
we could
Some
talk
today.
to you forever.
We
We
could.
could.
This could
We
be
love
a-
you, Holly.
But
And
we're
we've
not gonna-
introduced you into our Friendsome
Our
family.
Friends Some's like live streaming for the next week because we've got
Exactly.
Holly on board.
That's right. Join us anytime for more.
Aw, thanks,
We
Holly.
love you. We can't wait to see you in person again. Sending
Mwah.
loves 3,000
Mwah.
miles
Good
Virtual
away.
luck.
hug,
Good
virtual
luck with
hug.
the next listing, the other listing, the house listing.
Yeah, 22 million, not bad.
Not too shabby.
Right? And I'll be
Not
calling
too
you
shabby.
soon, Holly.
Holly,
Bye,
we love
Holly.
you.
We
Thanks
love you.
again.
Mwah.
You've been
Get
listening
the book, people.
to
Thank you for listening to Friends Some and
Friends
Then
Some and Then
Some.
Some.
Woo-hoo!